Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in August 2020. Hey there, Capricorn. How are you guys doing? I hope that you're doing well. All right, friends, welcome to August. I am your reader, Jay. Wherever you are in the world right now, Capricorn, please be safe, please be happy, please be healthy. Still a pandemic going on outside, guys. Still lots of things that are unknown pertaining to this illness. So, just take all the precautions that you should or that you can, and always keep yourself and others that you care about safe. Okay. All right, general announcements before we get into your reading. You will see me go live here on the channel on August 8th, this Saturday, 8/8. Doing that for Leo's birthday season. Capricorn, you're obviously not a Leo, but if you have reason to want to have a sneaky peek at what's going on with Leos at this time, or you just want to hang out in the chat and say hi, feel free to join. It's welcome to everybody, but again, it is specifically for Leos during their birthday season. I do that for everybody, for every zodiac sign during their birthday period. So I will see you guys like in January 2021, okay? Hopefully things are better by then in terms of like, public health and all that kind of stuff. Other announcements, shout out to my client, my friend, my subscriber, Vanessa. She made me this lovely bracelet while she was on her vacation, and she sent it to me. So whenever I receive any type of gift or just love in general, it's support, it's positive vibes, right? So when you give that, or excuse me, when you receive that, and you should be giving it out. So big shout out to Vanessa. Very happy to have made her acquaintance. I think it's been like over a year that we've been knowing each other. But anyway, so shout out to Vanessa, and shout out to anyone else who's a supporter of mine and a friend of the channel and a friend of my work, okay? And also shout out to those who are just like, about it, As long as you're on a positive, like high vibe, frequency, I'm there for it, okay? But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it. Capricorn, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box below. You had this Page of Wands flip out here in the pre-shuffle, in the intro. So some of you might be dealing with a fire sign, younger fire sign perhaps, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or you just might be incredibly enthusiastic and looking very, that felt, in the moment that I held it in my hand, it felt as if you were like really possibly inspired, or you're dealing with someone who is in that energy. So that's good. Hopefully that's true for many of you. Anyway, if you want a personal reading with me, that information will be down in the description box. If you want to purchase that, I'm going to repeat myself. If you have a question, thank you, before you place an order, go ahead and email me at the same address. Timestamp is down there. Link for the Instagram is down there. If you want to follow me, that name is EmpathicFire Tarot. You'll see it appear here again on the screen in case you missed it in the intro. If you want to follow me over there, I'm interpreting oracle cards a few times a week over there. Also doing some pick-a-card stuff. So if you are interested in seeing me do that type of work, just go ahead and drop me a follow over there, okay? All right, enough of the chit-chat and fumbling of words. Let's get into it. Please show me the outcome for Capricorn in August 2020. Capricorn, August 2020, please show me. Wow, so that's a bunch. That's more than two. And I might honor it if it was two, but that's like 3 or 4, so we're not going to take that. Hold on. Outcome for Capricorn in August 2020. Please show me. I don't know who this is similar to, but this spread came out super easy, super quick. All the cards are face up, but then now coming to the outcome, there's a little bit of a tenseness. There's a little bit of a held back feeling, or stringent, right? And just as I said that, the Emperor is at the bottom of the deck. So that might mean something to some of you. There we go. We have a flipper. Bottom of the deck will be the overall energy. He never left. Ooh, maybe that means something to some of you guys. He never left. Because the Emperor is still at the bottom. All right. And that's not straight, and that's going to bother me, and this is all knocked around. This is like the one time I show my OCD side. I don't have much of it, but when it appears, it must be satisfied. All right, guys, let's get into it. Please show me where Capricorn is in August 2020. Where is Capricorn in August 2020? Please show me. Is that right? All right, we got there. Interesting. That kind of doesn't correlate to the page of wands that we saw flip out in the pre-shuffle there. But anyway, Capricorn, coming into August, you come in with the energy of the Four of Swords. So some of you might be taking a considerable time out. This would be a rest of your mind, or a rest from possibly overthinking in a situation, or over communication. Well, maybe not over communication, just communication, period. But this is definitely an energy where, you know, we take time to ourselves and we really pause in the moment, or reflect on the moment, or we just simply disengage. I'm feeling that's going to be, you know, obviously specific to all of your situations and, you know, what's going on with you, how much stress you're going through, how, you know, much in need of a rest that you are. Some of you might reluctantly be resting because that lion is traditionally, in terms of, you know, archetypes or even spirit animals, lion is known to be brave and active and very ferocious and all that kind of stuff. It's not like, I mean, we know in nature lions tend to sleep a lot or rest a lot, yes, but in tarot, it's not an animal of rest. It's not an animal of taking a break. And so a lot of you might be reluctantly taking a break, where you might have had or have an inclination to be fiery and to be kind of, you know, energized and out there, you know, handling the world and giving everybody the business. Who knows? But no, no matter how you slice it, Capricorn. And I'm going to say, I'm addressing this as you. It is a general. It can go the other way. So please flip it around if you must. But I feel as though you're kind of, you know, some of you are almost running on empty. Most of you know it's time to take a rest, or you need a moment to recuperate. You need a moment to regain your balance. And so I think that's good. I think in many of your cases, not all, this is a mindful action. This is something that you've thought, you kind of weighed the pros and cons about, so to speak. And what I'm sensing is like disengaging from certain relationships or connections, you know, pulling back on communication, pulling back on expression, which, you know, we all need. We all need time to recharge our batteries, or to think things through, or, you know, gain perspective in a situation. So you could be doing any of that stuff, or you simply could be just watching a bunch of Netflix all day, all night, kind of zoning out and, you know, letting your brain turn to goo for a day or two, something like that. The thing that I'm liking about this for you, Capricorn, is like it's decisive, or yeah, it's decisive. It's like, I meant to do that, or like I intend to do it this way. For those of you where you're reluctant or you're like somewhat resisting, I think it's because in that case, yeah, that group is more like circumstantial, or you know you should rest and you know it's going to be good for you, but you just happen to have like a natural tendency to be super energetic. And that's hard for anybody who has that type of personality, you know, whether they're a Capricorn, a Taurus, a Leo. It doesn't matter what your sign is. If you are naturally high energy, this card represents something that you can't relate to, or that you struggle to appreciate, okay? Regardless of why you're doing this, it feels very calming or restorative in some of your cases. It feels very it's going to be beneficial in the long run. Some of you, like I said, you're like kind of antsy right now, or impatient right now, or you simply have never been one to sit still, and that makes you uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, like, I feel like many of you, this is like circumstantial, or you've gotten to the end of your rope in a situation or with a person, and it's like, I have no choice but to back away, or I have no choice but to go sit and ponder what's going on. it all will come out in the wash at some point in the future. For those where like you don't know what to make of the situation, or you don't know what to do with your time, or you feel as if you're wasting time, trust, in the semi near future is how they're making me feel. Like in the semi near future, like within a couple of months maybe, this is going to make a little bit more sense for most of you guys, okay? The difficulty is going to be there whether you're super energetic or not. I don't think, thank you. Capricorn tends to be, a doer sign. You don't usually like to ruminate too much. And the thing about the Four of Swords is that it can be a card that signals in rumination, thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and not a lot of doing. Capricorn is much more interested in doing, okay? Not to say all of you are like that. Some of you can be, totally, I don't want to do shit, or, just be like, I'm not that proactive, fine. But that's where I'm feeling the most contention thus far, is like, I feel I'm wasting a lot of time because I've spent a lot of time in this energy, days or weeks, maybe in some cases months, but most of you, this is like days and weeks that you've been feeling like this. And that's not normally how you want to feel, or that's not normally how you would want to spend your time, right? Now, what else happens for Capricorn? Please show me. Okay, so some of you, this is about work. Yeah, this is about, maybe some of you are waiting to hear back about a job. Maybe some of you are waiting to transition to another job. Maybe in the time of Corona, you've been hired, but you actually haven't like worked your first day yet, your first shift, because of changes that are, everything is changing. Everything is, a day by day almost, like what businesses are going to be open today, what businesses are going to be closed down tomorrow. It's still kind of up in the air in a lot of places. Not all, but in a lot of places. And so the uncertainty of what happens next is probably what makes you most uncomfortable in that Four of Swords. Capricorn likes to plan, likes to be pragmatic, for the most part. Again, not all of you. And so when you are kind of without certain bits of information, particularly key details, it's like, it's frustrating. And it's not, again, it's not just Capricorns who feel this way, it's most people. But I feel you've been left in the dark about something, and that really worries you because you're trying not to be... Oh, okay. I'm seeing it two ways. So in some of your cases, this is a new situation, right? Regarding work, for some of you. All right, Eight of Pentacles next to your starting position. So this is usually indicating work or some type of apprenticeship, something that you study for or that you're working towards, that you're obtaining or attaining for yourself, right? Some of you, it could be going back to school, or you could, quick stand, I don't see any pages, but we did have that Page of Wands flip out in the pre-shuffle. So some of you could be regarding your children going back to work, or children going back to work, children going back to school. And that can be kind of stressful, right? You might want to have a game plan together, but because your school board or your school district or whoever's in charge of making decisions, the teachers, the principals and the admin, whoever, you as a parent might be, kind of not hands off, but you kind of don't have an ability other than vocalizing your opinion and your concerns, but the actual decision making is out of your hands, potentially. Regardless, you want to be secured in your stability. You want the situations and circumstances and people around you to be of quality, okay? You don't want no shit show, like a clown circus. You don't want any bullshit. And I don't mean to like use like colorful language in this moment, but it's like frustrating because again, Capricorn is a doer, or whoever I'm speaking to is like so used to just going in there, fixing the problem, dealing with whatever, trying this solution, it doesn't work out, okay, let's go to plan B, and it's just like constantly like boom, 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 all under the guise of, or stemming from that trait, it's stemming from that quality or that trait that comes from Capricorn of pragmatism, of problem solving, of being out and about in the public world, in our workplaces, in our schools, in our communities, and having a pulse on the action. Not in an overbearing way, but just like simply seeing a problem and saying, okay, well, how about we try solution A? Solution A doesn't work. Let's go to solution B. Okay, that didn't work. How about B.5 or B.2? No, not that. Okay, so let's skip straight on and get to point C. It's just like constantly going at it. That's what you're doing here, or that's what you're hoping for in this situation. But again, I feel many of you, your hands are tied in a way with this Four of Swords, where decisions are being made outside of your control, outside of your parameters, outside of your expertise, what have you. You could, like I said before I even went on the tangent about children in school, again, this could be your job. You could be working on a new project or working on a new product, or, you know, just heading up a certain design or certain new implementation, whatever your job is, I don't know. And you kind of, some of you might want to have tighter control over what happens next, but it's just not feasible. I feel many of you are sharing space, you're sharing credits and creation titles with other people, and you see how she's like sort of cradling that one pentacle in her hands, and then the other pentacles are there. It's like, it's sort of like giving me this vibe, and I'm not calling you selfish, or I'm not trying to say you're spoiled, not at all, but it's giving me this vibe of like when you see kids in like preschool or like daycare, or you know, whatever, I don't have children, so I don't know when these things stop, but whatever grades children get to still, you know, go to recess or play with toys inside their classroom, right? And what I'm seeing is like a little kid holding all the blocks, like the little Lego blocks or wood blocks or something that you can create something with, that you can build something with, that you can be creative and say, oh, this is a wall, and this is a this, and da da da. And this person in this card is not wanting to share, for fear or for concern, maybe not fear, but for concern that if I share the blocks, Susie over there is going to jam it up her nose, you know, Timothy over there, he's going to go kick them off and throw them across the room. He's just going to make a mess of everything. Like, this is an energy of, if we're going to play together, you're going to play by my rules. If we're going to work together, you need to do it my way. Now, that sounds like controlling. That sounds like, you know, type A personality, and maybe you are, or maybe you're dealing with someone like this. But it's not done maliciously. At least I'm not sensing that. This isn't done to make a spectacle out of anybody. It's not done in the ways in which I was just critical of those made up children. You know, Susie sticking whatever up her nose, and whatever the other kid's name I said was throwing shit across the room. I don't think you're verbalizing that. You might think it, okay? We all think things, right? But I don't think you're like, if this is you, Capricorn, I don't think you're being tyrannical. I don't think that you're being outwardly controlling. But there is a desire for people to show up on equal footing, or for people to show up having just as much skill, effort, concern over doing a good job or producing a good product. I think maybe you're looking at other people, and on the inside you're just like, she lazy, he lazy, and you're just like not thrilled with having other people take the reins on this. And the thing about that kind of is the crux, is that the Eight of Pentacles is not a master of whatever they're doing. No offense to you in your career. I'm not saying that you're not good at your job, or I'm not saying that you're ignorant and you don't know anything. But this is resonating for people who are not technically in control. Like, you may have been assigned to be the leader of a team or the lead on a project, but you're not the person that calls those shots. You're not the manager. You're not the boss. You're not the CEO in this particular storyline. You might be middle management, or you might be a supervisor or something like that, or a lead, and you might be trusted very regularly to head up particular projects, but it's not truly your judgment call to be the leader. You've exemplified, or you've given people reason to trust you with such responsibilities, but it you know, I hope you get it. It's just like, it's still not all entirely your call, right? So you might want to say, take that guy, take Michael off of my team because he's really lazy, but your boss, you can't say that to your boss, or, you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like you're being saddled with, I feel like you're being tied to people who aren't doing their fair share of the work, and that really bothers you. If it's not work or school, it would still apply to like interpersonal relationships. It would still apply to family, friends, lovers, what have you. And you're just like not seeing the reciprocity that you feel is owed to you or owed to the situation is expected of everyone involved. And so you might be playing just a little bit stingy, a little bit standoffish, a little bit detached or aloof, as a coping mechanism, because if you were to really engage and really, give it your all, you might blow your top. That's kind of what this feels like. Very interesting. What else happens for Capricorn? Please show me. Yes. So further example of how you're stuck. You've got the Eight of Swords right next to that Eight of Pentacles situation. So it's, Capricorn, whoever this is for, I don't know you personally. I really don't. And I don't want to go off of your generalities. I don't want to go off of stereotypes of Capricorn, but it's really feeling like you're in your workhorse mode, which is something Capricorn is known for. 10th house energy, ruled by Saturn, so much in there about being task oriented and being deemed quote unquote good, or being graded as in like, you're good, you're passable, you are the example that everybody else should be living up to. Not to say like this is what Capricorns think of themselves. This is all what kind of fuels the 10th house. That's not all that's in there, but that's like, the general stuff regarding work and accomplishments and all that stuff. But here you see this Eight of Swords and this knotted fabric at the bottom, and then this woman who's blindfolded. I feel as though, you're having to watch people make mistakes. You're having to watch people possibly bicker amongst themselves instead of getting the job done. Like I told you, Capricorn is more like, okay, what happened here? All right, well, let's try and fix it with this we'll try and fix it this way. No, that didn't work. And it's just like step by step by step by step. You're just constantly after the solution. You're constantly after trying to make things better. And you might be working with people, living with people, overhearing people. Just, this could be you hearing about a friend and the troubles and woes at their job. And you're just kind of like over it. Like, if you're not about putting solutions on the table, why don't you just STFU? But you're not saying that. You're really holding yourself back because you're blindfolding yourself. So you're trying not to see these errors. You're kind of letting them, slip by you like, oh, I didn't see that. Nope, didn't see it. Can't see that. Nope, because if you see it, then you're going to comment about it. Or you're seeing it and it's knotting you up inside. You're seeing all the mistakes this person is making, all the mistakes that group over there is doing. They're not following the rules. They're not even they don't even rank. They are not even qualified to be here, but they're here nonetheless, and they are just messing it up. This feels very work oriented. I want to see if I can get something else, because obviously some of you are having quite easy, I shouldn't say easy, but your work life is fine. So this could relate back to, family relationships or friendships where you could be listening to your best friend or your cousin or your husband bitch about what's going on in their life, and you're just like biting your tongue to tell them STFU. All you do is complain, or, oh my God, why are you still complaining about this? We talked about it last week. I told you what you should do. It's like and the deeper, not the deeper, but the other context, or God, I can't even talk. The other aspect, thank you, of the Eight of Swords is feeling stuck, is feeling like you have no escape from a situation, or you have no recourse to get yourself out of whatever's upsetting you. So again, for your work situation, you work there. This is your job. This is how you earn your living. You can't just quit because your coworkers are idiots, right? You can't just quit because your boss just yaps on and on and on and on and on and doesn't, actually tap you for solutions, just wants to complain at you and doesn't actually want to hear your ideas. You can't walk away from that because, number one, we're in the middle of a pandemic here in the United States and other places, maybe not so much. And we're having lots of challenges economically. It just wouldn't make sense, right? So you're stuck there. You're stuck with family. A lot of us feel that way. And you're stuck with whoever you know socially. It's like this damned if I do, damned if I don't. Because if I say something, because look, all of this is like reserved energy. Like I said before, ferocious lion taking a big old nap. Had a couple of sleeping pills, just like zoned out for the day, maybe has, whatever. This is like not going to engage, not going to give it my full throttle, not going to put my whole heart into this. I'm on snooze, right? Eight of Pentacles, having enough for self, or mastering your own path, mastering your own skills, and then being cautious of other people who are saying, hey Capricorn, can we sit beside you and play with the blocks too? Can we learn alongside you? Can we be a part of your team? And you're kind of like, no, you're not good enough to be on my team. You're going to ruin my project. You're going to ruin my progress. Go away. Okay? And here, you're also like inundated with people's BS, and you're just like, I don't know what the problem is around here. This office, this family, this circle of friends, the house that I live in, all of you people are full of shit, or all of you people, see, this is possibly where that Page of Wands is coming in, because I told you there was like a lot of oomph with that Page of Wands. You're just like super critical about what everybody else is doing, because what you're doing is maintaining. If you're not excelling, if you're not, out there crushing all your dreams and crushing your goals, at least you're maintaining. And Capricorn, this isn't just you. Every sign thus far has had a little bit of this, I'm doing me. What are you doing? You're not doing anything to help your own cause. You're not doing anything to improve your situation. I can't help you. It's not just Capricorns who have been saying this, okay? So, and again, it's a general, so it could go the other way. You, Capricorn, could be sitting on your butt, and somebody could be saying this towards you. So I just get this sense of like, you want progress, you want movement forward, you want to see yourself excel or climb the corporate ladder, you want to see yourself dealing with more mature people within your family or friend circles, right? And it's just not happening. And instead of flying off the handle or being super verbal and critical and expressing, because that's the other thing with the Eight of Swords, it's withheld, it's not expressive, okay? It's very much I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, zip my lip. Possibly because it would look bad for you, especially in a professional setting, right? But it's also, I don't want to waste my breath. Like, this is a very aware Eight of Swords. A lot of times with the Eight of Swords, it catches someone by surprise, or they're in this mood, but they don't know why they're in this mood. You know why you're in this mood. You're so tired of listening to Diane in finance. You're so tired of listening to your cousin Joey just complain about his wife. Divorce her, for fuck's sake. It's kind of like, why aren't people seeing that their problems are not actually problems? Is kind of what you're feeling like, okay? What else happens? You're dealing with people, or I feel it's more like an energy around you. You could be observant. All of this together, this is very still energy. It's very like, hold positions kind of thing. So you strategically or casually could be very observant about not just one particular relationship or one particular area of your life. You could be observing everything, right? That's interesting. And if you are, you're noticing all of the, yes, you're noticing the ways in which people are about that bullshit, basically. What I see, what you might see, I'm seeing that you might see, there you go, that's how I'm supposed to say that. What I'm seeing that you might be seeing is that you're dealing with a person or people, energy is around you that's super sentimental, and there's nothing wrong with being sentimental. There's a lot of value in it, and being sensitive, and there's a lot of value in that as well. Queen of Cups, water sign energies, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could be dealing with a water sign, or just could be water elements around you, period, right? So the sentimentality and the sensibilities and the sensitivity of this person or people around you, whatever it is great. It has a time and a place. But the thing about the Queen of Cups, when it's not high vibe, when it's distorted or it's out of alignment, it becomes sort of sappy or mopey or melancholy. And you see how she's sort of just like pondering that fish in that cup of hers, or she's just like zoned out. It's just like, this is not an energy, a person who's very proactive. This is not a person who's spending a lot of time thinking in practicalities. This is someone who lives in fantasy or peddles in fantasy. That's interesting. Peddles in fantasy. I don't know what that means, but that might resonate for somebody. This is someone who, for the time being, would rather dream about what life could be than actually go after what their life could be, right? So this could be someone who's unmotivated, who's lost some of their creative fervor. And the thing about it is, I feel that for those where you know this person personally, or it's like a distinct person and not just like a group of people or an energy that kind of, is snaked through several people. If this is a particular person, one singular person, Capricorn, you actually have a lot of love for them and they love you too. It feels as if you guys are like good friends, possibly, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your orientation is. Committed, super committed, kind of, sort of. It's just like there is an effusiveness between you and this person. They don't have to be a female just because it's the Queen of Cups. It could be a male. And that's kind of like the frustration of it. Not to say like Capricorns hate love. You don't. It's more like it's like a handicap at this moment, because where possibly you would normally give someone tough love, or you might, totally write someone off because they're showing to be so incapable or so unstable at the moment, that you would just kind of walk away. Like if we weren't friends, if we weren't married, if we weren't this, if we weren't that, I would be like, all right, I gotta, bye. Just bye. Or like, I've tried to help you with this before and you didn't take my advice, or the things I've suggested to you, you haven't fulfilled or even investigated. So I'm not going to waste my breath on you. It's something like that. But you don't have that ability with this person. You really either are strategically doing it because this is possibly like your boss or someone who's important in your company. This is a potential client of yours and you don't want to chastise them and run them off because that would, be a deficit towards your bank account. Or you do care about this person because you have a certain relationship with them. We've been best friends since college. We are brother and sister, or whatever it is. And possibly that is your Achilles tendon in the situation. And I'm not here to say write this person off, disown them, divorce them. I'm not saying that, not at all. But what I'm seeing is somebody who's kind of lost in the shuffle at the moment, which can make a lot of sense. Again, it's a pandemic outside. Lots of crazy things are going on. Lots of uncertainty in the general collective of human beings on Earth, period. It is totally understandable how in the midst of this and that and all the other things, that a person might just have a lot of question marks floating around their head. Like this might be like that classic Looney Tunes or any other cartoon where somebody, a cartoon character is so dizzy they're seeing stars and birds and all kind of shit in their head. Like somebody has maybe lost their mojo. And for you, Capricorn, 10th house, Saturn ruled masculine, or excuse me, father archetypes within the 10th house. It might be a struggle for you to show this person a lot of sympathy, maybe some, but a lot, because I feel like that might be what this person needs. I feel that they're super sensitive at this time. I feel that at this time they need some love, some hugs, some kisses, some TLC. They need someone to come and sit by them and let them cry on their shoulder. And you, Capricorn, you're like, how long are you going to be crying for? I have a meeting at 10. Can you cry? Can you cry everything out in 15 minutes? And this person's like, never mind. Don't worry about it. And you're like, oh, come on. I feel like you're frustrated with this person either because it's out of character for them, or more to the point, okay, for some of you it's because this person it's out of character for them and it's kind of shocking and off-putting, and you don't know what to do with it. You're not used to seeing this person act this way, and again, unprecedented circumstances at this time. It makes sense. Try your best to be as sympathetic as possible. The other group of you are, this is habitual. This is a regular occurrence with this person, or this is a regular occurrence with certain people in your life, okay? It doesn't have to be a singular person. I have to repeat that. You have been around the block with this person, some of you, and you know their games. You know what they're up to. This is a tactic. Or if it's not a tactic, it's just, again, repeated behavior. Seven of Swords. Repeated saboteur behavior. Saboteur behavior. They sell themselves short. They don't have confidence. They may lie. They may cheat. They may steal. They may manipulate if they're super, super low vibe. But in general, this is someone who doesn't have a balanced, positive outlook on their life. They're not optimistic. They might be severely realistic, which means that they might be super jaded and apathetic. And ultimately, that could lead to so many things. Laziness, like I said, lying, cheating, stealing, manipulating, right? It could be that they're, like I was sensing here, very, very sad, very, very melancholy, possibly clinically depressed. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. These are all issues we all face in some degree or fashion over the course of our lives. The issue is the ineffectiveness, or the issue is that we come back to the same thing over and over and over again. That is what's driving you, or whoever this is resonating with, up a fucking wall. Okay? So, this person, I feel they are mostly aware, in some sense they're aware, that they are kind of their own worst enemy, or they're quote unquote the one to blame. And I say quote unquote one to blame because, it doesn't take two to tango per se in a situation like this, but I don't know. I feel as though for some, this person is like super, super sensitive and they need to be handled with kid gloves, and that just might not be your forte. And in some cases let's say it's going to vary in intensity that, they're not the only ones to blame. I'm not I don't know the details, okay? So please don't, get too offended there. But I get the sense that some of them, they just haven't coped. They don't know how to cope. They don't know how to rectify the situation, to find a solution. And they also don't know how to ask for help, or when help is offered, they become resentful. And they just might have a lot of mental and emotional issues or things that need to be worked on. And, nobody on this earth is anybody else's savior. Nobody. Okay. So I don't want to phrase that in a way that says, well, Capricorn, you're not doing enough. And I don't think any of you would feel that way. I don't think any of you would even take that criticism on without fighting it. Because I do feel at some point before now or recently, you have been a great supporter of this person. You have been someone who's been like trying to get this person to muster up their confidence, to get them back out there and on top of it. And it's kind of been for nothing, or it feels as though it's gone nowhere. And so I can understand, when you put so much effort into helping a person along or being supportive, it does begin to weigh you down. And that's kind of part of my work as a in this realm of spiritual arts, or whatever you want to call it. We all have our limits, and I think Capricorn is kind of reaching their limits. And like I said before, the Achilles heel is because of the attachment you have to this person, which again, my advice is not to release the attachment unless this is toxic to you. That's the other thing. I don't see, I mean, this card alone is semi-toxic, but everything else I'm not seeing toxicity. And therefore it's up for you to decide and discern how intensely this situation or this person is affecting you, and if it is barring you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish, or basically killing your vibe. That's kind of what I'm feeling more than anything. It kills your vibe. And like I was just about to say, in my line of work, I don't think it's always good to be around people who kill the vibe. Not like, you're having a party and like someone starts talking about, some type of civil war and civil unrest in another country or even in your own country, and like that brings the vibe of the party down. That's not what I'm talking about. Like literally your life force literally in some way drains on the energy, the love, and the care that you give for yourself, the positive and growing trajectory that you're using to propel yourself forward in life and beyond life, right? That's what I mean by kill the vibe. So if someone is doing that to you and you have some type of effusive connection with this person, friend, family, lover, I don't care. But some people can feel really indebted or feel really connected to their boss or coworkers, whatever. I can understand how it's even more frustrating. I think I said that earlier, if you didn't really know this person, you might have already written them off. But because you do know them and you care for them, it's harder to really say, you know what, I've had enough, or I can't help you anymore. And maybe that's a challenge for you, or maybe there's a certain lesson in there for some of you. Because I keep mentioning your own sign, and you're in 10th house in Saturn. So 10th house Saturn especially is about life lessons, or is about karmic lessons more specifically, right? So if you've always been the support system in your family, if you've always been the daughter or the son or whomever in the family that people go to, hey Capricorn, I'm in a jam, can you give me $100? I'll pay you back. You're not going to see that money. You know that. That person over there, they always take money. That person over there, they always need you to babysit. That person over there, they always want to borrow your car. If you're that person who does that all the time, that's something for you to learn a lesson from. To put up these boundaries. So, just, okay. That's just a caution, because not the only one to blame with that Seven of Swords. People can only take from you as much as you're willing to give. Is that correct? I feel that's somewhat correct sometimes, right? Anyway, so boundaries. I just used the word boundaries. Final card in your main spread, Four of Pentacles. So this person is kind of up here. So let's address them first. But I think this Four of Pentacles will also talk to you, Capricorn. So this Four of Pentacles, as it relates to the person in the top line, or the energy in the top line. Geez, with the slow focusing. Thank you. I feel like there's a survival mode that this person may be in. If this is about a partnership, a spouse or, roommates or business partners, what have you, I feel as though this person is aware that they haven't pulled their weight, or they haven't been able to make ends meet in some type of way. And I think they feel you judging them. I think they know there's more that you would want to say to them. I think they know that you are criticizing them, reading them to filth in your head, and you're not really expressing that. I think they're very aware, and I think they're kind of in this guarded mode of, well, I can't risk this and I can't risk that. I just have to, there's like a hunker down, stay in place, try not to be seen, don't be left in a room alone with Capricorn, because Capricorn is gonna, read me the riot act and all this other type of stuff, right? I think in terms of their own development, or the way in which they're going to improve in their situation, they haven't really figured it out yet. I think that if they're having issues with money, since this is Pentacles, they're doing it two ways, because this is a natural panic reaction, right? Either they're hoarding their money, they're not spending a dime, and they're borrowing money from other people, or they're going places for free, like getting food for, and it's no shame, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but this person is like, well, they're like looking for free meals, or they're looking for discounts because they're really trying to save their money, because they know they don't have any coming in, or they're doing the opposite and they're spending like there's no tomorrow, because both situations under financial crisis, people tend to do one or the other, right? Either I'm going to save everything or I'm going to burn it all and let it let it all go, because you can't take it with you anyway. That kind of attitude, right? If it's not specific to money or career or things like that, I just get the sense that this person is trying their best to keep themselves afloat, or keep the situation between you afloat. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to make any noise. They quiet as a mouse kind of energy. Don't notice me. Please, please, please don't notice me. Please, please, please don't ask me any questions. Please, please, please. Just don't have any expectations of me. So they've kind of built themselves up, or they've kind of fortified themselves. And that's interesting because look at the corners, 2 4s, and they both kind of talk about this pause. You're pausing your mind. You're letting that lion take its nap. You're not going to be fiery and ferocious and rah rah. And this person is like gathering up all their belongings, and they're like kind of tiptoeing away into a corner. I'll just be in my little. That's not what he did, I don't think, in the books, but it's reminding me of like, there's a whole house, or excuse me, in the Harry Potter books and movies, right? There's a whole house where Harry lives with his cousins or his aunt or whatever. And there's a whole house, but he lives in a cupboard under the stairs. He wants to, well, they make him be forgotten. So I feel like this person places themselves in a cupboard, in a little hole in the wall. Like, please don't look at me. Occasionally they'll come out, hey, you got $5, and it'll slink back into their little hole. And it's just like, why? From your perspective, why are you doing this? Like, I see you. I know you live there. I know where you are at all times. But you're playing like you don't exist, or you're trying to play small so that I'm not offended. And it's just like, but you're holding your tongue on that. Okay, let's just remember that. For the most part, Capricorn hasn't said shit about what's going on here. This 4 of Pentacles, if it were to apply to you, Capricorn, and it does a little bit, they're telling me, it's basically saying, like, I get this sense of like, not confrontation in a rah-rah shouting match type of way, but confrontation, facing the facts. Thank you. Facing the facts. For those, especially where this is habitual, where this is someone who has a pattern in your life, they're in and they're out, or they always are down on their luck and you're the one that they call on, or you're the caretaker of the entire family and that drains you. There is this element of self-preservation, which, I think you could kind of get in the imagery of what I was talking about for the other side's energy. But for you particular, Capricorn, whereas you are here trying to get yourself back in the flow of abundance, attraction, accomplishment, peace, civility, stability, whatever the hell your goal is, right? This person or these people or whatever it is are potential drains on that effort. Therefore, like, it's okay, this is going to be such a kind of morbid example, but it's true. When you or anyone else goes to the doctor and the doctor says, you have a tumor, what is that doctor just telling you? Yes, you have an invasive cancer in your body and all that stuff, but that doctor is literally telling you there is a mass, a growing mass somewhere in your body that is essentially feeding off of your body and getting bigger. And is sustained by the energy, by the cells that your body naturally creates, right? Or it is an exacerbated growth that go on unattended, will just get bigger and become more of a liability on your life, or more of a danger to your mortal life. Now, I'm not trying to say this person is. I don't want to say they're a Cancer. Cancer. Maybe you're dealing with a Cancer. Water sign. Okay, maybe. But more to the point, that's for those people where this is toxic. Okay, and it's habitual. Right? Habitual and toxic together, compounded because you love them. That's hard to deal with. I am proposing no solutions, but I know how I get by. I'm not going to say it here, but I know how I get by. And it's not by being cruel. It's not by, just Xing people out of my life. It's about having, what did I say? I used the word confrontation in some type of way, but I don't think it's about confrontation. I don't think it's about going in there, making demands, giving people ultimatums and telling them if you don't shape up, you're going to ship out. I don't think it's that drastic, and I don't think it's that dramatic, but it is being honest about what you need in the situation. I need you to get a job. I need you to be supportive of yourself. I need you to take back some of your stuff, yeah, that's what, look, she's carrying like all these like clothes and fabrics, and she's got this pole, and she's got that bird up there, and she's got a stick on her other arm, and she's got some jewelry in her arm, like in her hands. Some of you are like, your house is like a storage unit for somebody else's shit. I need you to get your shit out of my house. I want my house back. I want my life back. I want my husband back, my wife back, whatever. There's something about, I've been carrying the load, or I have done my part. Now you do your part. We are teammates here. We are friends. We are lovers, whatever. We have to be cohesive as a unit, work together. And everything that you brought to the table is the antithesis of that. Not an ultimatum, perhaps, okay? But there has to be some clear line of communication, and I think you've held back because some of you know you run the risk to be very critical of this person, and maybe in their current state they're extra sensitive, and you don't want to hurt their feelings or push them away or cause them to run even further, run away even more, tell more lies. Did you apply for any jobs today? Yeah, I did. Lie. But because you had that tone, did you apply for any jobs today? That snarky tone, that judgmental tone. I'm not trying to say, you got to lie to a person and make them feel like you're not worried or you're not annoyed. But there's a way to have an adult dialogue with a person without taking jabs at them or being super critical. That's just a suggestion for you or for anybody else who needs to hear it, okay? Outcome, I almost called you Cancer again, so for those who are dealing with the Cancer, maybe that flies. Your outcome, Capricorn, is the Three of Wands. So here we go. Waiting, anticipating, okay, for some type of change, for some type of change in the current, change in the wind, right? You see these stags, maybe they're on, the edge of a forest, and they're waiting for a change in the wind. Like I feel, I'm not a zoologist, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like with deer and other woodland animals, and animals in general, humans, we have a sense of smell, but it's not as good as other animals. And I feel like a lot of survival tactics for woodland creatures is their sense of smell, right? That's why when you're hunting, you have to put all these scents or something on your clothes, right? So that the animals don't detect you. So that's what I feel here. It's like you're waiting for a clue. You're waiting on some change in the wind that's going to let you know if things are ready for you to move on, if you should stay put because something is coming your way. And again, I said that earlier about how some of you might be waiting on a job application or to hear back about a job, I should say. And maybe that's what's going on that you don't know. That's why for some of you, you're like, I don't even know what the hell this is. There might be someone who was going to hire you or someone that you're potentially wanting to work with that's going through something like this. Or maybe you're solely here and I just told the story of their life. Who knows? But there is this anticipation. And I think it goes back to the initial energy of Capricorn is about that business. Capricorn is about that life of productivity, of going after goals, of accomplishing whatever dreams or potentiality that they have in front of them. It's not that, if you go out and you make you try to establish a relationship or you try to establish yourself in a new career, it's not to say you're going to be successful. That wasn't even on the table here. That wasn't even a question here. The bigger question is for Capricorn, when can I do this? When can I pursue this? Are these people going to be with me when I pursue it? Do I have to leave them behind? Am I going to have to transition into another department or another career in order to see myself, you know what I mean? So the interest in progression is high, and you are anticipating getting a green light, a yellow light, or a red light, basically. no matter the outcome of, green light, yellow, or red, I feel as if you're prepared to handle it. Because that's the other thing with the Three of Wands. We kind of know, maybe not know, but once we see like what's coming towards us, the quality or the answer that's going to come towards us. Okay, so because it's a green light, I'm going to implement plan 69.82, right? Oh, it's a yellow light. Okay, that means I have to go with plan 17.9. Okay. It's a red light. Okay, well that's plan 0. It's just like per the pending result or per whatever information you're lacking, as soon as you get it, you know what you're going to do next. That's the expectation, or that's the anticipation, right? Interesting. Huh. Now that makes sense. I'm like, the Emperor is your overall energy, major arcana for Aries. You could be dealing with an Aries, but you don't have to be. And it's amazing that I'm remembering this, because I do Aries. They're the first zodiac, so I do them first, and I did that like last week or something like that, or maybe like 4 days ago. I can't remember. And they had a very similar reading where they were very determined. So maybe that reading also applies to you. I don't know. But they were super determined, and they weren't like looking back, and they're not, they're taking no prisoners. And so I feel that kind of is here too, with the Emperor's presence, because the Emperor is about his business, it being related to Aries or not. I feel as though some of you envision a wonderful future for yourselves: business, personal relationships, personal development, money, health and wellness, whatever you're seeing in your head, whatever you're going for. And it is abundant, and it is strong. It is very fortified, or it is very well-founded. And that's what you're after, or that's what you're in the process of building right now. And again, it's like a no-nonsense, take no prisoners energy I feel here. You're either with me or you're left behind. You're either with me or you're against me. You're either with me or you're a hindrance, and I will soon take care of that. The Emperor is always about his business, is always about securing himself and the people that he knows and loves, with a stable future. Again, that's complicated if someone you know and love is this Queen of Cups character. It might be very painful. It might be damn near impossible to say to yourself, or to say to this person, I have to let you go. We're not going the same way. We're not going on the same path, because of the long history some of you have had. Not advice, but the Emperor energy would speak to, I gotta let you go, babe. I gotta let you go, my friend, because you can't stop my train. I'm not gonna stop this train. I can't keep stopping. Here it is. I can't keep stopping my train to sit down with you, to have these conversations with you, to give you these pep talks. Eventually, you will have to pull yourself up from, I hate this phrase at all, but you're going to have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. I can't keep doing it for you. Something like that, okay? Capricorn, kind of a not so nice reading, but I think if it applied to you, if it resonated, feel free to like the video. Feel free to leave comments. Let me know how this resonated. I'd love to read comments, because, I'm just sitting here talking in the room to myself. So who knows if this is correct or not, or if it's applying to anybody. Feel free to share the video if you want other people to know that you like watching my stuff, or there's a message here for them possibly. And if you haven't subscribed, why don't you consider subscribing? Why not? Why not? Why not? That'd be cool. Capricorn, I'll be back soon doing the mid-monthlies. Like I said, I'll be going live on August the 8th for Leo's birthday season. So again, if you want to hang around, feel free to join. And again, if you want a personal reading, that information is down in the description box, okay? Capricorn, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.